What's going on there, YouTube? Back again on the rent truck build. So, this week I got new tires and wheels here. These are Vanquish Vintage 2.2 silver, the satin silver finish, and I think they're going to fit the look really well. They are beadlock, so we're not running the ring, and these are Proline inversion buggy tires for four-wheel drive front tires for buggies, 1/8 scale, and they got a okay looking tread pattern. It's not really scale, but you're not going to see it, so the size is right. And I did not realize, I've never had any Vanquish wheels before. I didn't realize you got to buy the hubs separate. So they're on the way, and it's kind of cool because you can buy all the different sizes. You get your offset just right. I started with the 320s, I think, the narrowest one I could find, because tucking these under the front of that truck is going to be very tight. And we're going to use one of our straight drop axles, and we're probably going to have to narrow it, I imagine. We'll have to see. Eventually we'll get everything here so we can really start the chassis. As of now, I'm going to start the body work and paint of the bed. And I got a lot of ideas, but I haven't put anything in stone yet. So I've hit it with this black primer, and I'd already glued the pieces together and put some Tamiya putty filler on all the seams. So it's just going to be a while working that down because this thing is giant. But after that, I think we're going to do red and layer some paints and stuff. But I've got some ideas as far as the actual ramp top goes. Do some maybe some wood, and I had to cut these squares out so the tire will stick through when it's laid out. And I think I'm going to try to make some sheet metal tubs to cover that we can really rust and make it look cool. So I'm going to get to sanding on this mess and see how far we can get. So I hit this with the actual orbital sander. It really wasn't, I wasn't getting anywhere with the 180 grit, so I stepped it up a little bit. I really needed to get into the filler and start knocking it down. I'm not too worried about the seam up top. It feels pretty good. It doesn't look very good yet, but I really worked on rounding out the corners, trying to grind down the ridges in the print. Some of this is the actual glue, the epoxy that came out, so it's going to give me a little issue, but I'm going to clean this off now, and I'm going to go ahead and spray some more primer, and we'll do some more finish sanding after that before we start getting the color. Yes, I had to take it down so aggressively. I figured we'll throw some more primer on it, try to smooth it back down a little bit. So, let me go wash this thing off and get it out. Alright guys, so a couple days have passed. I did hit this with another coat of primer, and I lightly sanded that, and I went ahead and hit it with some red. You can see I just got the sides, and it's a hit and miss coat, but this is just going to be one of the under layers like we did on the body. Not sure what color we're going to do next. It's dried, it's good, it's ready to go, but it's pouring down rain outside, so painting's out of the question for probably this whole weekend, it looks like. But I've got a new product here. So my buddy Jason at Ossum Designs, you know, we've been working together forever. He did my number 2 ratrod body. I hit him up, and he took time to make me a custom grill for this truck. And we talked sizes and dimensions, what would fit, what kind of curve we needed. And I sent him a bunch of pictures of kind of like lead sled grills, stuff from 50s Mercuries and things like that that are just custom pieced together grills from different vehicles, you know, like they used to do it. And this is what he designed for us, and I'm pretty happy about it. He had lights on here originally on the ends, but due to the lack of lenses, I went ahead and had him put these on like bullets, like the old bumper bullets from a Cadillac. And this thing's gonna look pretty sweet. If you've seen the thumbnail for this video, you already know it looks pretty cool. But I got two just to you know, because somebody designs a part for you, I want to have more than one. I'll probably do one up and paint it on the wall. But the other day when it came in, I immediately painted this one with our, what brand is it? Our spray paint chrome. I think the can's in the other room. I think it's Krylon. And I just did one really good heavy coat, because I do plan on using my AK rust streaks on it, and that stuff eats into the chrome, so I'm not worried about doing too many layers. It actually came out very smooth. Now this is printed through Shapeways, and there'll be a link in the video description where you can pick this up if you have one of these Nightcrawlers3d printed Apache trucks. I know a couple people on Instagram have already expressed interest in it, and Jason has shared the link to his store. And yeah, it's just cool. There's all the stuff that me and him have kind of worked up together and he's designed are available. The rat rod seats that we're using now in the Peterbilt rat rod, the Ossum designed rat rod truck cab, the grill shells that I use. We've got the Farmall tractor grill and the other one. I don't know what brand that is exactly. I don't have the insert in it, but both of those are available on there as well. So be sure to check out his stuff. He doesn't have much markup on there at all, and it's very reasonably priced. He just designs stuff to help promote 3D printing, and it's kind of his passion, and he's very good at what he does. So be sure and check out that link for this grill. So I'm going to get set up, and we'll get this chrome rusty. I'm going to do the AK rust streaks on it, real heavy, hard brush, and we'll get that rusty pipe look. Like the chrome stuff has kind of come out for me every time. So I think that's going to be the look we need for this. Also, I forgot to mention, I did get my hubs for the Vanquish wheels. Like I said before, I've never had any Vanquish products. They are pricey. These are the beadlock wheels in 2.2. I did not realize they have these that are non-beadlock, and they're much cheaper. So I could have got a set of these in gray, satin gray, with the hubs for I think $90 on eBay, whereas these were I think $90 for the wheels, and then another $25 or so for the hub ship. So something to think about, since we're not actually using them on a crawler tire. We don't really need the beadlock, but that's what we got, so that's what we're going to go ahead and use. So I'm going to get set up and we'll get started. So while the grill is drying, the rust streaks came out pretty good. I'm just going to let them dry overnight before we actually mount it. But I'm going to use the unpainted version here. This thing is super solid. It's got a little flex to it, but it's nice and heavy. Very good quality print. That's the kind of stuff you get from Ossum Designs. Very, very solid. So start looking at where I'm going to mount this. It does have holes in the backside that can be tapped with a screw. So I'm trying to figure out exactly where I want this to sit. Make sure it's nice and centered. And then we're going to try to drill some holes. So I got it mocked up. I kind of made the holes a little adjustable because it's just hard to measure that and get it straight. But I'm digging it. So now we just got to wait on the other one that's painted to dry. Let's swap it out and we can see what this thing's actually going to look like. I'm really excited about this part. Again, a big thanks to Ossum Designs. Jason really went out of his way on this one for me, and I appreciate it. And these are available through Shapeways. Again, links in the video description. So let's see what it looks like on here. Alright guys, so this is the Ossum Designs grill, all painted and patinaed. That thing looks fantastic. I love how that rust streak affects that chrome paint. It just really kind of chews into it, and it saves you a ton of body work, because even with the high quality paint or 3D print from Shapeways, you still get a little bit of lines in it, a little bit of groove from the print, and this just, that chrome paint's real thick, and then that stuff just eats right down through it. But yeah, pretty happy with how that looks. So let's move along here and see what else we can do. Alright guys, so the grill's dry. I got my other tires and wheels put together. I am going to have to narrow the front axle that I'm going to use for the ramp build. But I got distracted here with the rest of this 3D printed body. I went ahead and cut out one of the wheel wells so I could stuff that 2.2 wheel in there and see what it looked like. And man, I love it. I wish I had two of these right now so I could build one like this and one for the ramp truck. Something about old slam trucks, just, I love it. But anyways, it's still pouring down rain, so I can't paint anymore on the bed. So we'll pick this back up another day. Alright guys, so finally quit raining. I went ahead and hit it with the Satin Lagoon Rust-Oleum paint. That was the final layer that I did on the truck body. I think I'm going to go ahead and rust it. Now I'm only going to do the sides. I'm going to do the top lip and all around. But the deck I have other plans for, but I have to find the right material. So that's going to have to wait for another video. But yeah, I'm going to get started. I hope I have enough of my AK rust streaks. I have been using that stuff a lot lately. I need to order some more bottles. But I'm just going to smear that on there. We'll let it dry a little bit and dab and wipe and see what we get. So it's still a little damp. I'm going to let it dry overnight. I want to do wooden bed floor. I've got to find the right type of wood, thin enough to not stick up over the edge that's on the bed. And but I think I want to do planks. So I'm going to weather the wood and do stuff like that with it as well. So I might have to hit up the craft stores this week and see what I can find. And yeah. But we're getting very close. I'm wanting to finish up all the body stuff. I want to do the windows because that's, I know, is going to be a challenge, and then we'll start the chassis and get that Proairrc system hooked up and working, and hopefully this thing is going to be pretty awesome. I can't wait just to see it aired out with one of my rat rods on the back. It's going to be pretty cool. So I'm going to end this one here. I'll get you a better close-up here of the bed. But yeah, this has been a few days in the making. Let's see if we can zoom in on the color. It actually came out really well. It's similar enough to the truck body, but it's got a little bit, a hint of red, more red than the cab, so it looks like it might have been a different color at some point. You can see on the top there, let me get you a better look at that. That's what, you know, you've seen it in the earlier clips, but that almost looks like pink and turquoise, and made it look like that. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I've got tires and wheels. I'm a little worried about the rear axle. The front axle I know I'm going to have to narrow. The rear axle, I'm not sure. I bought a Tamiya semi-truck axle from when I thought I was going to make this a dually with those other wheels, and it would have worked pretty well with that, but it's not quite. I think I'm going to need something in between a standard crawler axle and in between the semi-truck axle. So that may be a big delay because I may have to order one of those new narrower boom racing axles or something. But we'll get it sorted out. Like I said, with the Vanquish wheels, there's different hub options. So I've got very shallow hubs on it to see if the crawler axle. I actually don't have another RC four-wheel drive axle at the moment, so that is a problem. I've got one spare that I was using for that rat rod in the background with the tank treads that I'm still brainstorming on, so we may have to borrow that in the meantime. That's a nice Yoda 2 with a ballistic fab diff cover. You won't be able to see it on here, but it's a nice axle. But I may have to take that off and try it out and steal that for this build. But yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to make wooden bed floor, and I'm going to make metal tubs over the wheels out of sheet metal, and we'll rust them up naturally, so it'll add a little contrast. But again, links in the video description if you're interested in that Ossum Designs grill. I believe the Shapeways has the measurements on it if you were interested in maybe using it on something else. I know not a whole lot of people have these Nightcrawlers 3D printed bodies, but it's pretty cool. And it's definitely going to be unique. So again, big thanks to Proairrc. I know this build's taken quite a long time, and we still haven't even got to really utilize their product yet. But they are sponsoring this build along with Nightcrawlers 3d, and you know, they both put in quite a bit of money into this. I mean, this is all 3D printed so far. The body, the bed, very, very expensive amount of printing. So and again, thanks to Jason at Ossum Designs for working that grill out for me in such a short time. It took longer to get it here from Shapeways. They printed it real quick and shipped it the slowest way possible. Took longer in shipping than it did from me asking him if he had the spare time to design me a grill and us working it out, and him having something to upload to Shapeways for me. So it's pretty awesome of him. And if you haven't checked out his Facebook page, I think I'll try to put a link in the description of that. It's not just RC stuff. He just 3D designs. That's his passion. But again, if you're not familiar with the Proairrc or what we're going to do with this build, check out the earlier videos. I've got a demo video of the Proairrc air ride setup, and it is pretty cool. It's going to be a challenge to adapt it to this low of a chassis because it is designed more for crawlers, but it's definitely going to be awesome. And I know I can make it work because I've done crazier things with crazier things. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Follow along on Instagram, #RCEveryday. And yeah, keep it scale. See y'all in the next video.